Hi, today I'm going to be showing you a quick three-step painting process for painting a roper from the D&D miniatures line. There's our piece, and I am going to be painting it to match the Dwarven Forge basic cave set. We can see there's a roper here that's a metal Reaper's miniature that I painted a few years back that you can see blends in pretty well to the background, just like these guys are supposed to hide and just blend in. At this point, I've taken the roper out of the package and have started to base coat it. I need to touch up a few spots. Because we're trying to match Dwarven Forge, I am using Pokorny paints from the Dwarven Forge website. Even if you're not trying to match a Dwarven Forge terrain piece, highly recommend the paint. You get 4 ounces for like $8 to $10, and it's on par in quality, in my opinion, with Games Workshop, where you get like a half an ounce for $4. So, way more paint for the money. And when you're doing these pre-painted plastics, like from the D&D line, usually you can base coat them with one coat and then just touch up any spots you missed, or even get it the first go around. I use the Anita's paints from Hobby Lobby a lot too for some of the more obscure colors, and if you were to base coat with those, they usually take about 4 or 5 coats on these. It just doesn't stick well to the primer they use. So I'm going to go ahead here in a second, off video, touch up. You can see there's a few little spots of white that didn't get done, and then I will come back, and what we're going to do is we are then going to, with a wet brush, hit just the high points with the Pokorny Earthstone. We had used the base gray originally, and then we're going to hit all of that with a stone edge dry brush, and then we'll just have to go in and do the eye and the tongue red, and maybe a little bit of accent colors around the mouth or teeth or something like that. We're also, I'll point out, like on the one you see here, we're only going to be hitting the main actual creature, that's the stalagmite, with the earthstone. We're going to leave the base a basic gray and just dry brush over that with the white to accent it. All right, we're back. I gave the piece about 10-15 minutes to make sure it was fully dried, and I have some of this Pokorny Earthstone here down and mixed up on the cardboard, and with not a totally wet brush, but decent amount of paint, we're just going to start hitting all the high points of this figure. Trying to get down in between the cracks and get everything, leave some of the negative space, that primary gray color. And you're just going to keep working around the piece like that. So now I'm gonna cut until I am finished doing that piece. Also note, we're gonna leave this bottom area here just base gray. Only the stalactites in the piece will be done in the earthstone, and then I'll check back in. We've got our earthstone paint on, and it is dried. Now I'm going to do the central eye and the tongue a true red. On this, we're going to be using an Anita's acrylic. Doing this next so that if we get any overage onto the non-eye area, we can touch it up real quick with some earthstone while we still have that out and not dried up here on the palette. So as I mentioned, and you can see, this Anita's doesn't cover quite like the Pokorny's does. You can still see the gray through and underneath real easy. So this is going to have to be multiple coated. We got a nice little base on there. Really no defined break to the tongue there, so I'm just going to try to round it off. So alright, we're going to have to give this some dry time and then we'll hit it with another coat. So now we've finished up the red for the eye and the tongue, and while I was doing that I also took a little terracotta Anita's paint and did the inside of the gum line and some of these ridges in the back of the mouth as well to add a little depth and detail. So at this point, to finish it off, to keep it simple, I'm just going to take some Pokorny Stone Edge dry brush, and we're going to dry brush the entire piece except for the eye and the inside of the mouth. When you dry brush, you want to take a brush that's pretty well worn generally, kind of fuzzy like this one, and then we're going to take just enough paint, and you keep swiping it back and forth until there's almost nothing on the brush, and then just sort of gently work over the highest points. Just very lightly. We've got our completed piece. You can see it up against the Dwarven Forge background. I think it looks pretty good compared to the other piece. There's a little close-up. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.